Hello, everyone. This is Sammy Eccles Irwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Texas Short Film Festival. Right now, we're gearing up for our Fall 2023 screening, which is going to take place on October 14th at Slab Cinema Arthouse in San Antonio, Texas. And today, we're talking with one of our participating filmmakers. Tenley Raj is the creator behind Before the Freeze. Tenley, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is very exciting.
So Before the Freeze is a very cool experimental film, and I want to, first off, let's just jump in and say, what inspired you to make this movie?
Oh, well, I think largely this film was a reaction to motherhood. I had a baby and a toddler at the time, and I hadn't done any creative projects in a couple of years or a few years, probably about 3 years. So I had a lot of pent up creative energy in me that was dwelling. And at the
Totally.
same time, I had a lot of emotions regarding motherhood and a lot of ideas about motherhood and a lot of new experiences. So I had all of that in me, and then it had to come out in some way. And I envisioned it as this film, and now which you guys now get to see. So.
Excellent. So you took a break from creativity for a bit to raise your kids, but in fact that was an incubation period for a new creative idea. And in your director statement, you talk about a sort of persistent fear that comes with motherhood. Worrying, of course, makes sense. And the film it starts off so wholesome and nice, but there is something unnerving about these close-up shots and the editing and some of the obfuscated zoom ins to then a reveal. Okay, everything's fine. And I wonder, what was your thought process with that visual component?
That was all about tension and keeping the tension. I didn't want you relaxing. I didn't want you having time to stop and think or even time to breathe necessarily. I wanted the viewer to keep moving mentally through the story and with the camera and along pretty quickly too. And I also it does go pretty quickly, and this is a film that you can watch a few times and hopefully notice different details that maybe you didn't see the first time or probably didn't because it's short and speedy. We'll say the tempo is quick. So yes. So to answer your question, that was yes, all about keeping tension and interest, visual interest. I didn't want you like getting bored and eating your popcorn and chatting or texting, probably going to your phone or whatnot. So.
Well, it's great because on the surface, the imagery is at the beginning really nice, and but just the sound design and different elements work to unnerve you. You know something is off, or you know that there is a tension in the air, um, and it's really well done. I think that aspect reads so clearly, and it's an anxiety-inducing work.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
what was it like working with your cast, and what was it like shooting this?
Well, my cast, I got very lucky. I put out an audition for actresses, casting call, and uh, two actresses, well, three actresses replied. Three actresses auditioned, and the two that I happened to want, said yes and came. So I only got two actresses, and so that was that.
Okay.
It happened to be that they happened to work out, and they happened to be the two that I did want. And then for the child, I had many more children come to the casting call. Actually, quite a few options to play the kids, but as it turned out, the only one that would work was my own daughter. So Millie, my daughter, plays Riley in the film, and oh my gosh, the whole production hung on this 2-year-old saying her lines, and she has to do a little bit of body work.
Right.
Yes, and she did it. And I'm still very thankful and very appreciative and very impressed with my daughter. That, yeah, that she managed to do this, and we got it on camera because without it, there wouldn't be a film. It would have to be completely different. So
Totally.
the cast, it was interesting because for my first film, I chose to work with a small child and an animal, which
Right.
which I think you
Very
probably should avoid. Yeah.
Well, how was it, working with, it was your own child, so maybe there's a bit of a better communication there between you 2, but how is it working with someone who's so young?
Oh, I had to be very bossy. Like, I
Okay.
couldn't be nice at all. I had to be like, "Millie, go do this." I had to be like almost a bad cop, and she responded to that. So I think really that would depend on the child, and because I
Okay.
knew her, I knew that I would have to be like all business, and she would just like do it,
Totally.
do it, do it. Um, Obviously, didn't want to push her. As she felt comfortable.
Right.
But I think that would really depend on individually. Each child
Okay.
is so different. That
Totally.
Yeah, and
And
the
then
children that came to the casting call were, we'll say they didn't listen, so that wasn't gonna work. Casting them wasn't gonna work.
right. Um, and for the mother character, I'm sort of curious how you elicited her performance because it feels so natural, it feels so candid, and the way that she interacts with the child is not something that you do in the open normally. It's sort of this very intimate, personal way of communicating. I'm curious, how did you work with your actor to elicit that?
Luckily, Lizzie Corona, who plays Jo, and this is what I wanted in my casting call, she is a mother,
Okay,
and she is her personality, her as a person, Lizzie, she's very nurturing and very sweet and a little southern. We are in Texas.
right.
Um, and I actually then asked Lizzie if she babysat and if she could, come over again because she's very good with children. And she bends down, she gets to their level. So what I did was I gave them a remote mic and I stepped away. So I stayed about 20 to 30 feet away out of earshot so that Millie was no longer following Mama or
Right.
Mama wasn't in her world. She was just connecting only with Lizzie. And because that was a role Lizzie was comfortable playing, Mom, it worked. And I didn't know if that dynamic was going to work when they first met. But Lizzie came in with such confidence and she was so relaxed and she brought a little toy for Millie and they hit it off. So really with that, the best thing to do was stay out of it and
Totally.
yeah, not mess with it.
Well, it's great. Their chemistry was really good, and it's clear that she knew what she was doing because it seems so candid, so natural, and really makes kind of the intensity of the film, that tension, hinges a lot on her sort of natural performance as a mother figure. Um,
Mhm.
well, I'm curious, what did you learn from this process? Did you take any new insights on the craft of directing or filmmaking?
Yes, quite a lot. Um, you really just have to go with your gut and do it. Like,
Okay.
don't hesitate. Don't, and you're gonna overthink it because I overthink a lot of things, but you've got to just, make the decision, go with your gut, and do it. Otherwise, it's not going to get done if you don't do it. We'll be shooting. I'm writing the sequel now to Before the Freeze, and we're
Oh,
planning to
excellent.
shoot it. Yeah, so we're planning to shoot it in January 2024. So everything I have learned from filming this one, I'm going to take it and apply it to the next
Excellent.
one. But again, a lot of it's going to probably depend on the child actress. So
Right.
we'll see. Yeah, maybe there'll be
Well,
a
it's
backup
exciting.
script for if she's not. If Millie doesn't want to do it, then
Right.
we'll have to rotate. But we can do that.
And is this sequel going to be, continuing the same character story?
Yes, and
Okay, cool.
our Jo, our mother character, she's newly single in Before the Freeze. The sequel is really going to be an emancipation story for her and an empowerment story. And
Oh, beautiful.
yes, like a breakthrough.
Excellent.
So it should be pretty cool.
Well, and I love your takeaway. I think it's great advice for, especially independent filmmakers, who are trying to get started in this world is to just pull the trigger, make the movie, you know, don't
Mhm.
stress about it being, you know, unachievable,
Right.
unachievably perfect.
And there are gonna be mistakes, and you're gonna look. There will be so many mistakes, and you just, every time you watch it, like even when I watch it now, I'm like, oh, I got it. You need to go fix that and change, and you got to back away at some point, and say it's done.
Totally,
Always keep working on it, keep editing, keep doing it. So you got to
totally.
some point cut the cord, as they say in the mother world.
Yeah, right. Well, and it's good that you can watch, something that you've made and see, "Oh, I wish I would have done that differently," because then it's something you can action and apply it right away, in your next film.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah,
Do you have a title for, this, sequel to Before the Freeze?
I do not.
Okay.
Not. I do not.
Technically Before the Freeze
It might
2.
be after the freeze, but
Yeah,
it might not be. But it might be that. It might
okay.
be as basic as after the freeze. That could be the working title.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Well, it's good that you have momentum going on some more projects.
I do.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about Before the Freeze?
Just a huge thank you to Lizzie Corona and Lucy Davila, who are in my film. They play Joe and they play Maria Luce, and Trisha Ray at Next Actor Studio, where I took a filmmaking class and she threw info at me, and I'm so thankful and so lucky that I got to absorb that. So yes, a huge and yes to those people, and
Excellent.
and to Edgar the dog, who's also in the film.
Oh, great performance.
Yes, yes, he's classic.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much for talking with me, Tenley. I really enjoyed Before the Freeze. I feel like people are going to like it a lot on October 14th at the Texas Short Film Festival. We're going to see people probably very unnerved in their seats from this one. And there's a lot to unpack and kind of think of. And I'm very
Yeah.
excited to put it on.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and meeting you.
Beautiful. Well, take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.